Hi, you're listening to the Flow State Fishing Podcast.
We are brought to you by Rod Armour. The boys at Rod Armour, absolute legends. Rod socks, rod wraps, lure wraps, and most recently, their reel covers. Their reel covers are absolutely epic, called Reel Armour, obviously. www.rodarmour.com and support local fishos that are doing big things in the industry. We are also brought to you by Sportsman Boats Australia. www.sportsmanboats.com.au to view the full range and features. I've been in a Masters 207 for the last 12-18 months. Absolutely fucking love it. Insane boat, awesome build quality, heaps of options. If you want to get a hold of someone for some pricing, the boys at Castmag Co can chase all that for you. So Mick and Benny, email mick@sportsmanboats.com.au or ben@sportsmanboats.com.au. They'll chase all the pricing, do all the hard work for you. Hit me up if you want some info on the bay style boats and some of the features. www.sportsmanboats.com.au. Get around it. And finally, we are brought to you by castmag.co. www.castmag.co. Jump on the website. Boys do content creation. Epic footage. Leading the fishing game in Australia, in my opinion. The website's loaded with heaps of quality apparel. Pop to your drop poppers, stick baits and jigs. They're there for the passion, not the money, which is more than you can say about most places. Absolutely epic stuff, hold them close to my heart. Love everyone in the fam. Get around it, www.castmag.co.
You're older.
So we're with Shannen Jeffery and Shannlotte Klose, both die-hard little Barra fishos from Darwin. Going to cover a few different topics today, I think. Give away all your secrets and shit.
A little bit, maybe.
So we'll just start with, to get the ball rolling, where you're born and raised. Tell us a bit about your story, and then get to how you met each other. I need to go first.
Well, I was born in Darwin, in the Territory. Dad raised me. I think he wished I was a boy. Raised me on the water. Fishing every chance he could, crabbing, all that. And I've never left, really. So that's me. Now 26.
Doing the same shit.
Still in Darwin.
Fucking gee, that's alarming spicy. That's alarming spicy as fuck.
Oh, set up.
Oh, man.
It's chorizo.
Where are you from, Charlotte?
So I was born and raised in Darwin, and I know my parents and family weren't really outdoorsy people or like fishermen, and it wasn't really until I got into high school and I just started fishing flat out with my first boyfriend. It was more just kind of like tinny, fuck around, East Point kind of thing every weekend. And then my older cousin Russ, I begged him to take me fishing one time, and ever since then we've pretty much been inseparable. So yeah.
So how did you just meet in the fishing scene?
Through fishing, through Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, because
like mutual friends, sort of.
Yeah.
Like saw each other banging big chromies.
Yeah, girl crush.
Right. I've actually got a funny question that I'll ask later. So you started fishing together. I'm sure there's heaps of funny stories. Mm-hmm. What's your most? No, well, I know one of them. Tell us the one. We'll start. Tell us the one about the rock bar in Saltwater Arm in as much detail as possible.
Ready to go?
Do many people know about this?
No.
Well, they fucking do now.
So this is like the third time I ever took out my boat, and it was like huge spring tides. It was like 7 meter high to like a 0.8 low. And we left about 5 a.m, got there like right on sunrise. It was right on high tide, and everyone's like, oh, watch out for the rock bar at Saltwater Arm, because, you know, like you can't get back over at low tide. And I thought, oh yeah, no worries. So I just noticed at the boat ramp when we put in, it was like 30 foot. I was like, oh, well, there's no rock bar here, obviously. Picked up Shannon off the bank and off we went, fishing Wilshire's one for nothing all day.
For like 7 hours more.
2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't get, Shan got like a tarpon size barra. And that was about it. Yeah, that was about it. And we're like, fuck this, let's go. Do you reckon there's enough water? And it was incoming tide. We probably would have been like 2 hours after the bottom of the low. So we're like, yeah, you know, just 3 espressos deep. We're right.
We're all both lightweights.
Nasty fucking cocktails too, just quietly.
Pumped the music and started heading back. And then we got around past all the Wilshires, past everything, and back into Saltwater Arm mouth, and that huge coffee rock shelf that comes out, we just cleared that by like 3 foot, and I saw it out of the water, and once we went over it, I saw how shallow it was, and I was like, oh, all right, well, there's a rock bar, we'll be right. And then it dropped off into the main channel, as you know. And we're like, oh, sweet. So yakking away and just being dickheads going flying up the river. Actually, we missed the turn, took the wrong turn, turned back around.
Oh, when it turns right to go up there.
Turned back up. And then we were just, I think we were singing or talking shit or something. And then we got to the last bend, and there's that tiny creek on the right before the boat ramp. And we've seen like this tinny with like a couple and their 2 kids in it. And then as we come around the corner, we've seen the rock bar out of the water with rapids going over it. And we're both like, oh shit. And as I pulled off the plane, it just hit the rock bar. I just got, like, looking at each other, like laughing off our faces, like, oh shit, there's a rock bar. and then we like kind of look at each other still laughing. And we hear like this water pissing out. And we're like kind of just still a bit dopey.
Bilge pump was running.
And Shan's like, is that the bilge? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, there's water in the boat. I was like, yeah. And Shan's like, where do I check the water? I was like, oh, you lift up the hatch. And she lifted up the hatch and all the trays were floating underneath the front. And then we kind of started going, oh, well, shit, we're sinking.
At this point,
we got a hole in the boat.
Coda's dead.
Yeah.
Almost out of fuel.
Shan's like, oh, where do I go to the safety? I was like, oh, under there. And she's like pulled out this tiny little bail bucket you get with your safety kit. She's like, is this my bucket?
A measuring cup.
Like, yep. So she started bailing, and I'm like on the Minn Kota trying to get through all these like actual proper rapids. Like there was nothing over this rock bar. And then it died. And then I tried to throw the anchor out.
Yeah, Charlotte's great idea.
And then realised that would have worked, so pulled it up, got on the outboard and was literally just like putting while sinking. And then the boat ramp at this stage is still like, what do you reckon, like 2-3 foot like dropped off
right
to the mud.
Yeah.
And we were like, there's this old fella on the boat ramp with his little shih tzu just staring at us, and we're like waving and I'm like, help.
What did he say? I'm just looking for my esky lid I lost a week ago.
Yeah. We're all like, shut up. Like, what the fuck, help us. And so I plowed the boat up on the bank, and Shad's like, what do I do? I was like, oh, just back it down. And she like ran up, and old mate was helping her back it. Was it back? He backed it down?
No, I backed it down. At this rate, I think her heart rate was like 200.
Proper peak, full of coffee and grog.
Yeah, we backed it down, and then because he couldn't get the latch on, I told him to sit with the handbrake on in the car, jam rocks under it.
And while Shan was getting the car,
vertical,
I had the bail bucket plus a massive Tupperware tub that I'd emptied out, and was bailing with both buckets down the back in ankle deep water in my boat, thinking, fuck, we're going to sink my brand new boat at Saltwater Arm and everyone's going to see it for the next like 3 weeks. It's just freaking out.
Because the Darwin fishing scene's pretty like, one of your friends in your group knows another group of friends.
Exactly.
Everyone knows everyone on the fishing scene up here.
But apart from that, Shan backed it down. Old Lav was sitting on the brake, I think, and Shan's like run down and is trying to like hook it on. And at this point, my boat's on like a 90-degree angle with my outboard like half submerged from the angle.
Yep.
and just managed to hook it on, and my motor stalled from flooding and just winched it up, and I'm like looking at the sky thinking, holy fuck. And we pulled it out and we were just kind of like laughing and just didn't know what to do, just in absolute shock. And old mate's like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you around, and left. And then we crawled on the boat to check where the crack was, and there was nothing but like a couple of little coffee mark rocks on my bow because we'd hit it with just the front. And then looked around the back and my bung had popped out. And like, I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm pretty sure Quintrax should make bungs with thicker threads because the whole fitting was there and the bung was gone. So
it's never our fault.
Yeah, not our fault.
What went wrong?
So yeah, that was pretty funny. So
we now travel with 10 bungs, a bigger bailing bucket,
and
some life jackets.
But outside of that, nasty story, you are more than capable of fishing by yourselves and stuff, eh?
I think so. We've done all right. Done all right so far.
Yeah, we're alive.
You just get some looks on the water, eh? Like,
a fair bit sometimes.
Yeah, get random messages, like obviously people seeing us in the water and that. I told Shan we should probably get some wigs or something.
Yeah.
People don't know where we are.
like random messages, in what regard?
Oh, just like how'd you go today? And
yeah, right.
like,
proper sussing you out.
Yeah, or like they'll see something on my boat and be like, "Oh, where'd you get that done?" Which is pretty cool. But
do you think it's because you're the girls?
Oh, I definitely reckon people would look and be like, "There's fucking 2 Sheilas in a boat." Like you're gonna look at that. Just like you go into a hairdresser and if there's a guy doing your hair, you're gonna shit yourself. You know? It's just not being sexist, but that's just how it is. Like it's a male-dominated industry, and obviously, you just have to look past it because.
Yeah, well, you just catch more fish than those fucking dudes anyway.
Like to think so.
So Barra, why?
Why not?
What else is there?
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Goldies are alright.
Yeah, you neck them though.
That's the only way.
Goldies a bike catch and they end up in the esky.
Yeah, that's fun. I know, I get seasick. I'd rather not go in the ocean.
Don't you?
If I don't have to.
Have you chased like sailies and stuff? Oh, you've been blue water a few times, like rye fish and shit.
Oh yeah, well obviously I work for Arafura Charters, so I've deckied in that a fair few times for Steve. Plus done the iFish stuff. I do love it, but I just wouldn't go out of my way. Like it's hard because obviously the good tides do line up with barra fishing, so it's hard to just be like, oh, I'll push that aside and go blue water fishing, because in the back of your mind you're thinking, I could be chasing barra right now, like
instead of being sick.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's just like a passion. You just drive yourself crazy doing it every weekend. And Shannon and I usually plan trips like 3 weeks in advance.
Usually,
yeah.
Like not giving out all your secrets, but you've obviously worked it out to a point.
Yeah.
Like there's always more improvement in anyone's fishing, but you've worked it out to be pretty consistent. We won't say locations or anything like that, but
yeah, like where we go now, pretty consistent. Can almost guarantee someone or something will happen with Barra involved. But this year, I think we're hoping to explore more, like bigger
more locations
trips.
and stuff.
Broaden our horizons.
Of Barra. So,
we got a boat that's more than capable of doing most shit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing everywhere though. Like it doesn't. Like I'm sure we'd be able to fish other spots.
Yeah.
But it's more just like the fact that you go out every time, and even if you don't catch something, or you see fish and don't catch them, or you do catch fish, you still learn.
Yeah.
Way more. Like
So
no one's
much
an
to
expert of barra fishing. You just learn every time.
So time on the water.
What's the goal with Barra? Like, is there an end goal?
Yeah, 120 salt water.
Yeah, on a hand line.
On a hand
Shan's
line?
got a hand line. Ready to go.
I always have the hand line in the boat. I'm ready for it.
First meter in the boat.
What are you gonna do? Like, throw it out like a local, like Under Armour lure out.
Hoping on a vibe.
Yeah.
Get some gloves.
I'm trying to vibe it. I mean, I haven't really thought that far into it.
It's just in there, ready to roll.
It's there. It's ready. And I just hope Charlotte's quick on the Minn Kota.
Imagine when we went out and there was those like fish in the same against that bank, and we're all there casting, and Shann's like got the wind up, and she's like slow rolling the plastic through her hands on the caster
Yeah, if you see that,
Could you
that's
imagine
me.
the hit? That'd just be next level.
and landed.
Yeah, and
Yank your
landed.
arms off.
Yeah, casting though, not trolling it. Casting the hairline.
Don't like trolling?
Nah. No, we're not going to have that argument.
But it works.
No.
No. Yes.
Yes and no. It works, but I mean, I'd rather use my sounder
Yeah.
at this point. Shannlotte sounder.
It's funner. Like, I mean, trawling is like if you know you're going to catch them when you're trawling, then yeah, fair enough. But I honestly don't see the point in dummy trawling up and down
Yep.
just because that's all you know, kind of thing.
You go down the rabbit hole with that so bad.
Nah.
I don't know. There's
The hit.
different techniques for everything,
Yeah.
but yeah, the hit's the most addictive part about barra fishing, not just
There's not much better than
Yeah.
like using your sounder and seeing a fish sitting. It's not my story to tell, but like I was in the daily for a Ted round this year, last year, it's 2020 now, last year, and we sounded past. No, we woke up the next morning. This dude was fishing a creek mouth, and just on daylight he bugged out and left, and then we slept just downstream from him. Packed the gear up and then just sounded past, and there was this massive grain of rice, not massive, a big grain of rice in the mouth of the creek, hard on bottom. So, and old mate's been dragging lures over it. Like he stayed there that night at the mouth of that creek, so he was dragging lures over it for God knows how long.
yep.
And then we sounded it, and I figured out what it was eating based on like the bait I could see around the place. And I had like 2 or 3 casts with this lure, hooked it and went like, I think it was 85 or 87 or something, which was a really good scoring fish for that round of that comp because it was a fucking dead river.
Yeah.
Like that's heaps rewarding. I feel like that's more rewarding than dragging a lure through the top 3 foot of a river.
Yeah, exactly.
Being
Just-
able to find them and
It's-
then
Yeah, specifically targeting something that you want, not just not knowing if it's there or not, and then maybe trawling.
People would
Get it
argue
right.
that there's some situations where you can't catch fish on the cast, but you can catch them on the trawl. And there's also people that argue that you can use your sounder to trawl
oh my god.
like functionally.
yes.
They do.
Yeah. I've
Like,
heard
like
that.
people will work like a bend, say. Like we'll work bait and fish on a bend, trolling backwards and forwards. Justifiable or no?
No, I think definitely there's obviously...
If they're holding there, you'd think you could cast them.
That's
there's
right.
Scenarios
Yeah.
in place. If you want numbers, like you're obviously going to get them being more, I don't know, trawling up and down. Like that's obviously your best chance of getting more numbers because it's one of those things you're covering more ground, kind of thing.
But if
more
they're
ground
holding,
and yeah, but if
Yeah.
they're holding and sitting on the bottom, you're obviously going to want to flick at
I'm
them.
gonna flick them.
Yeah.
Just different situations, different
Yeah.
scenarios, different places. It just all depends on the factors, I guess. But
I guess.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that road.
We'll just cast.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like trolling either.
It's the time and a place, and I mean when espresso's on board, it's trolling's pretty boring, so
Yeah. Yep.
it just turns messy.
Speaking of casting, comps. You've fished a comp before, haven't you? Together.
Yeah.
So we turn that across that way a little bit.
yep.
Now we're good.
It was the first time me and Shan really fished together, like seriously.
Yeah. And it was SWB 2018.
Yeah,
Was
it would
it?
have been, yep.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yep, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, what is SWB?
Secret women's business.
At Crobbery.
Can't
Yeah.
tell ya.
So, how's the comp run? How's it like? What's the team like? How's it scored? Explain the location.
It's all women, so no male skippers. So it's purely women's only, which is really cool. Pretty much means like no team's got a disadvantage or an advantage
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Based on like
Yeah,
On that
and,
skipper.
getting a skipper in.
Yeah, it's toga and barra. Barra double points, toga are single points.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm
yeah.
not too sure on exact scoring methods, but
That explains
yeah,
most of
a
it,
lot of
yeah.
people do just target toga the whole time and do smash it and win it.
Yeah.
I know Melita's team absolutely smash it pretty much every year. They're awesome at it.
Yeah, they just go up the top of like Crobbery and stuff. Hey,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like toga and lilies.
They're
Yeah.
bomb queens. It is a really fun comp. It's just I don't know
It's a
if it's
billabong.
really for us fishing comps, like girl comps.
Yeah, you're not a fan of it.
And not for a billabong. Like, I love the comp. It's run well. It's like a good bunch of girls and you all get together. But just saltwater barra, I just can't get enough of them.
Something different. But would you argue that, so there's people argue, like, obviously dam barra, completely different to saltwater barra.
Yeah.
There's black and white distinguishes.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but anyway, people know what I mean. Between those two. People would argue that a billabong is the same as a saltwater system. It just does it when it floods. Like, those barra are linked to the salt.
It's still a puddle for half the time of year, though. No offense to anyone, but a wild fish is a wild fish. Like, I won't take anything away from that.
Is that a wild fish? Like
it's
fish
still a wild fish, but it's still a dirty bong barra. Like,
because
you can't deny it.
Because it's not a man-made puddle.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a wild puddle fish. But somewhere like, I don't know, it depends. Like, there's obviously places like, you can't compare Tinaroo to Manton. Everyone knows that Manton is an absolute
dog of a place.
Yes. And everyone you speak to will say at one point in their life, fuck
Who
Manton.
shoved this bicky in here?
Me.
That's
that was
Shannlotte.
for later.
Oh, is there one left?
No,
Well,
it's your biscuit.
I've already touched it.
But yeah, I don't know. Saltwater barra are just kind of like, they're not always going to be there. You know, there's so many places for them to go and you've got to figure out so many different factors for them to be there.
So much more interesting. I mean, dam fishing, don't get me wrong, is cool. And they can, like, obviously.
The fish are massive. Like, not all the time, but a lot of them are consistently massive.
But saltwater fish just, I don't know.
Do you reckon they go harder? Based on your experience, do you think they go harder?
Yeah. I mean, the Manton dam barra that I've caught are like just
wet socks.
They're aerial, but not as hard as a saltwater barra.
Like a build up salty that's like lean.
And you've got a shark up its ass. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
So I'll switch back to Secret Women's Business. Why? So regardless of the location, why is a girls' comp not your thing? Shannon's just dribbling.
I wouldn't say it's not our thing, but like, I don't know, I only have a handful of people that I would take fishing or go fishing with anyway, and I think it's just all who you fish with. Like, I could fish at comp with Shannon, no worries, but it's just if you have a third person that, you know, you can't fish with or don't click with kind of thing on like the nicest way possible. You're not going to be able to fish the comp like to your best ability kind of thing. Okay.
Everyone's got to be able to put their head together.
Yeah,
like throw ideas out there.
It's supposed to be fun. And it was fun, but like at the same time, there's not much point doing a comp either if you're not going to try and have a good crack as well.
Yeah, it's a waste of fucking money.
Yeah,
you got to have fun when you're doing it. I see what you mean.
Yeah, for sure.
They send the piss at night time, don't they? No dudes there and shit.
Yeah. It's just a mad piss up.
It's pretty wild.
There's some fucking wild women there.
That's why women are crazier than men.
Yeah, I was doing a pickup last year. What happened? Oh, you're chewing. There you go, Buster. You can't whinge anymore. Buster was proper off that podcast with Nick and me. You're chewing food. You off it too?
I'm just hungry.
What was I even fucking talking about? Oh, how mad it is. Like, I did a pickup there last year and there was Sheila's couple of rigs still like fucking blind at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Packing up tents.
Yeah.
Wrestling in the dirt.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it gets full on.
So, no more comps?
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm doing
probably not this year.
I'm doing Nats this year, which I want Shan to do it with me, but
Barger.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go out of my way to like put in a team kind of thing.
So you just got like invited?
Yeah, I got invited in a team. So that'd be really fun. I'm really excited for it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to do it kind of thing, like to pay for it. And I just rather kind of learn a bit more before going into a comp kind of thing.
Yep. Are you gonna pre-fish yourself or pre-fish as a team or something? Because you're fishing with...
It depends on the daily, really. It depends if we're getting a rain. If it rains, I'll go pre-fish it. But
I fished both comps last year and it was fucking evil.
Yeah.
Because
gross.
I don't like comps because it locks you into something you might not necessarily... It's like I'm just not a competitive fisherman. I've got my own goals and I don't really have that desire to win a trophy and prove something to someone else. But I like the idea of like I took a month and a half off for those comps, and I could have fished the Clash maybe too, but didn't because I didn't have enough time. There was a whole month of basically catching fucking rats in a shitty shutdown river
Oh, yeah.
with no fish in it, where I could have went to Mouth of the South for a month.
Yeah.
And
caught better
well,
fish.
on those both those sets of tides, they'd fish well. I heard. That's my argument.
That's how we look at it. We'd rather spend, like, comps are fun, whatever, but especially for a billabong, I'd rather spend good money and do a trip when we want, on tides we want, how we want, and fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, fish the hours you want to and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, then again, we're not, like, fun police.
Yeah, exactly.
You sound like the major fun police.
I had another controversial question. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Tell us about what's your most memorable fish? Let's go there.
Recently or?
Yeah, it can be whenever, till now.
Yeah.
You can talk about the project we're on. I'll just drop this after.
No, I think Shannon and I think you're the same fish.
No, I don't know if I do the bank version or the one where I pop my knee out.
Go both. Tell us both stories.
On the bank one was just kind of like a,
You
you're going
to fishing together?
No,
this was
separate.
Just you?
Yeah. Well, me and some others.
Gotcha.
Yep. What was it? Last year. Went down to the.
Yeah. No. No, gotcha.
Yeah, went like as you do. Pull a sickie. I think it was a Monday actually, or a Tuesday. Go for your little trek when it's wet season.
There's 100 pot spots. I don't think anyone up here would know either.
Yeah, I don't even care. I mean,
Fuck 'em.
you're on your way down to Daly River.
One of those spots.
One of them spots.
Yeah.
Camp the night. Pull a sickie the next day, basically. I already said that, hey?
Yeah. That's right.
And put the boat in. It was, me, Paige and Steve, and we went up, as you do, to Bamboo Creek. Everyone knows about bamboo.
Yeah.
It's no secret.
Yeah. Well, only the people here do. Like, there's not a lot of people that are going to...
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And
all my 3 listeners.
if you get it when it's good, it's good. But otherwise, you can go there. You can drive, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then get nothing.
Yeah.
And we were there all day. Paige, I think, got, a 1:05 in the morning. First thing, we thought it was on. Casting, I think got to midday casting after 5 hours, got there at 5 a.m. And Steve could feel the barra buffing on a certain ledge at his feet, but they wouldn't eat his lure.
Yep.
There was also another group of people there, but they had given up and they were all sitting on the bank, just chilling out, waiting for someone to catch a fish. And they wouldn't eat Steve's lure, so he obviously yelled across the bank at me because I was chilling out in the boat and had given up myself. Basically beating a dead horse with a stick. There was nothing there. Anyways, put this lure on, Shannon, bring this rod here. Sure enough, first cast, and I'm on. The biggest group from behind off the bank all come running down, all want a share of it. Sure enough it's a debatable 113 because it was on rough ground. Someone measured it with a tape measurer over the guts. And
so it's a comfortable 110.
And then
at least, and the rest, or more. I felt like you were going like you were saying it was bigger than 113.
One of them said it was a 114. One of them said it was a 112. One of them said it was a 113. I'd rather underestimate.
Yeah, fair
so
enough.
then shoot myself in the foot, and then I've got goals to work up. But yeah, it's good fish.
Yep.
Good fish. That was me done.
Instagram fucking blew up, and bamboo blew up huge after that. I remember on socials.
No, I think I posted it like a few months later, as you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, go fish it.
There's a
Go
couple
try.
others that just can't wait.
Yeah. No, there's just social media.
There's just
Yeah.
a few other people that just can never wait to post photos, and it kind of
Post them on the day.
ruins it for other people that you know.
Oh, as
want
soon
to
as they
fish
get
it.
into reception.
It does it easy. It helps them with their homework because they're like, oh, I see, even like I said, the fishing community is so small, and you go like, oh, I seen Joe Blow at the ramp this morning, and then Joe Blow puts a photo on Instagram that afternoon with a meter 15 fish, and then you know that he went there, and if you're smart enough, you can take tides, wind, barometer, water temperature, all that shit. You
Yeah.
can take all that stuff into account, and the other variables as well, location, all that other in-depth shit, and shortens your learning.
Then Joe Blow's just done his hard work and time on the water and spent all that money and
fucked
given it
himself
to him.
up the arse. Yep.
Basically, yeah.
Just to go back
Hard.
to see him in the exact same spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've had
Know
a few
what
of
that's
those
like?
lately, eh? You've had a few of those lately?
I'm not going to name names. But
Yeah.
oh no, I know who you are.
I'm fucking watching you,
Yeah.
your dogs.
Yeah, basically. I think they see us, hey, and they're just like,
Oh, we've had people just come right next to us and fish. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, well, everyone does that fucking this place.
yeah, but there's some
No, but
that
there's
are
some
like sink it
places where
throwing.
it's like you don't know why you're sitting there, why
Yeah.
you're casting at that spot.
People
And I
without
know for a
sounders.
fact because they either don't have a sounder or they've got one that won't read.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because you put all that time and effort in. And I understand people, just want a piece of what you're getting, but you have to work for it and you have to
Yeah,
learn.
where's the respect?
Yeah.
Well, what about I'm at the rock that day?
Oh yeah, I think that was
With that
definitely
fucking
a
big old two-stroke.
female thing.
Yeah.
What did he do?
No, well, you tell it.
Oh no,
You
that's
tell
a
it.
different story.
No, what up? Oh, so you tell that story and I'll tell the other one.
Which one? My story?
I'm telling the douche.
Oh my God, what a story.
Oh,
Either
okay.
story.
So me and
Tell both of them
Shan
if you
were
want.
casting
Oh.
at a specific rock.
Yeah, that was my fault.
We were
I can cut this out if you
about,
want.
what would you say, like 3-4 meters away from the rock, like pretty
Yeah.
close up, casting
Yeah.
directly into the rock. This was like early morning, and everyone. It was like maybe 3 other boats to the right of us, fishing behind us and whatever. And it's just, it goes without saying, boat etiquette on the water is a must. And if there's 3 boats, 4 boats, or even a boat sitting somewhere, you don't go roaring past them with your outboard on. It spooks fish. Like, seriously. But we were there minding our own business, flicking away, and our mate comes in off the plane, and he's still coming, and he keeps going straight over our lines, directly between us and the rock, not around. It's not like it's a creek where you can't go around, or that's the only way, which is understandable, but directly between us, this 4 meter gap over our lines, and we're just looking at him like, are you actually serious?
Don't know what people's problem is.
And then went around all the other blokes though. Like, it's, I don't know, it's just a bit disheartening because you're there putting in your time and effort as well as everyone else, and for someone to just do that thinking that it's okay,
Yeah.
it's not. Like,
Yep, I know exactly what you mean. Well, the same ones that old mate disrespected everybody at the same spot the other day.
I
when
think
we
he
were
just
out.
didn't really know what
But I don't.
what he was doing.
Yeah, that's fine, and figure it out yourself. But surely, like, no one's that stupid. Where they're like,
Debatable.
yeah, well, it's hard. But like, just to have a little bit of respect and say, oh, if I let my chain just fucking go, whoosh,
Well,
and
this
throw
is
the
the
anchor
anchor,
right
yeah.
beside
While the
everybody.
outboard's been on for 10 minutes, we're still on the phone,
Yeah.
just
Just
chatting
idling.
away.
Yep.
Chilling
And
out.
we're talking like a 1947 two-stroke fucking motorbike. Yeah, I don't know. Sort of stuff just shits me. If you're going to do that shit, that's fine, but like, have a bit of respect for other people who, or I guess, do not know what they're doing. Or, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of no etiquette here. I think it's half because there's no fucking boat licenses either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's another
it's
whole
debatable.
fucking political topic I couldn't care about. What was I going to say? So, I've got a bit of a hot topic. Would you say that people judge you guys based on what you've learnt from your network of people you fish,
Oh my God.
fish with.
Yeah.
You know how many people think like just
had
because
a-
Charlotte works in tackle world, she
Yeah.
like Shane Campaign. Woo!
Yeah.
You're a legend. But honestly, like we all have our own way of learning. Like
I'm pretty blessed. Like I have been blessed with an amazing cousin who has been willing to teach me so much, but at the same time, I could be anyone, and if I wasn't willing to learn and put in the hours and to continue that on, why am I not worthy of that? And I think it pretty much speaks for itself now. I have been shown a lot of things, but I haven't been shown all my spots. I haven't been shown where to cast, what to use, how to read, like how to do what we do
You've been fishing
now.
by yourself or by yourselves now for a while.
Yeah,
A good while.
it's all just time on the water. I mean, if you're not willing to learn, then you're not going to learn anything.
So would you be
But-
happy saying that like anyone else in the same situation wouldn't take the advice or the oil from those people?
Oh, well, we've copped
No,
it.
everyone would.
Yeah. I've copped it heaps. Like, I've heard it from exes. I've heard it from randoms. I've heard it from, you know, a lot of people. And that's fair enough to assume, you know, there's not a lot of women fishing, especially like, you know, consistently.
Do you think that amplifies the fact that you're a girl? It amplifies that.
It shouldn't, but
not
it does.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
call it like haters, like that. Do you think that that's part of it?
I think a lot of people think they know everything. So they see you catch fish and they just want to make up an excuse as to why, you know, like, why am I not catching fish? Oh, it's only because she's cousins with Russell. She works with Shane, but that's not the case. I haven't been fishing with Shane in 2 years, and you know I see Russell at least 3 times a week. But you know we might only go fishing every once a month
Do
now.
you avoid those trips because of this sort of
No,
persona? Or
it's
you
just that I've
got your own goals.
Yeah, I got my own boat. I know what I'm. Well, I'm not saying I know what I'm doing, but you know, me and Shan are happy off doing our own thing. Like we don't need anyone to show us.
And figuring it out yourself.
Yeah, it's just
It's
time
so
on the water.
rewarding.
Anyone can do it. Like if you're willing to learn, you're willing to put in the hours. It's not like, anyone's spoon fed or anything like that. Like
No.
I've been lucky, but
Yeah, you've been kickstarted, like that's a fact. But
yeah.
I don't think.
But at the same time, if you're not willing to learn, then
It's
anyone
a dead
could
end,
be
basically. if
anyone
you're
could
not
be that
willing.
lucky with that, but not want to learn or continue it on. Kind
Yeah.
of thing, put in the
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think that's a reason to be hating on someone. Like when the same person hating on you would take the advice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just. I think a lot of it's just jealousy kind of thing. Like
Definitely
not
is.
in a bad way, not being
Well,
arrogant or anything like that. But like
there's
you know,
some shit cunts here.
people want to catch fish, and that's understandable. But at the same time, you shouldn't hate on other people for catching fish just because you're not. Like if you want to learn, like there's a message button on Instagram. Like I've asked people for advice.
Yeah.
Or
I
you
think
know,
all of us
like
have.
reach out for people that I respect as fishermen to say, hey, like, what do you reckon about this? It's
Yeah.
just note comparing. Like
Yep.
you're not going to know everything. Like water temp, how the wind is. Like, hey, do you think there's a consistent pattern with this? You know, it's just
You got to think outside
Yeah.
the box.
yeah, exactly.
Elaborate.
Yes.
Exactly.
Think outside the box. How? No, wait. That's going to give away secrets, isn't it?
Yeah. Just think outside the box. That's enough.
Think
Yeah.
like
That's
a
like-
fish. That's what
Yeah,
we always say.
basically,
Think
you want
like
a fish, be a fish. If you have to hop in the water, do it. I mean, not up
Had
here.
to do that.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I really wanted to touch on that because I feel like a lot of people get a lot of heat. Like even Shane, people like Shane. Like the reason why he catches so many fish is because he can pick the best tides and he can do this and he can do that. Yeah, but he spent the time. Like I know it was originally his dad's business, and I guess he was lucky to get involved with tackle, but he's just because he works or is a pro staffer out or whatever doesn't mean he has to go fishing.
No, and
Like
that's
he's put the
true.
time in to go and he's like, I want to be out.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? If everyone could do it, they would. And you know, it's the same thing. People are just jealous that they want to do that, but at the same time, you know, they wouldn't hesitate if they got the opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, Shane's done just as many trips this year, not catching fish, trying to find where fish are, and we all have. Like I spent the last 2 trips not catching anything, just trying to scout out where's good and what's happening. It's just a shit time
Yeah,
of
and
year.
give
Like
yourself more options.
not everyone's going to post when they're not catching fish. You know, like I don't know,
Yeah.
people are just very quick to hate. I think.
Yep, I think so. People who are stuck in jobs they don't like, or they can't get leave, or all that sort of stuff, and they feel the need to nitpick.
No, but that's the thing. Like, most people can get leave and they can do this. Like, there's no such thing as count.
That's right. Like, take it.
Like, I bought my own car and my own boat. Like, there's no stopping you from doing anything or getting out in the water. So there's no point in hating on anyone else.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's just trying to have a crack. Charlotte's raging.
Yeah, Jesus.
She's about to fire up. That's why I asked the question. Yeah, keep going if you want to.
No, I'm good.
Well.
I'll leave it there. I'm going to get angry.
That's fine. No, actually, you're scary when you're angry.
Yeah.
All 37 kilos of you.
Yeah, ring him like
It's mostly hair.
Right. So, is it a number game? Like, does the size of the fish matter, or do you want to understand barramundi more, or do you want to become a good comp fisherman, or all that sort of jazz?
I don't really have any goals. Like, my goal is to, I don't know, it might sound cliche, but I read this thing once that said measure your success in terms of how much you enjoy each day. And I think for me, being out in the water every weekend is something that I want to strive to do, whether it's, obviously that entails trying to learn more about, the fish you respect and love. But at the end of the day, if I don't get a 120 in my lifetime, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yep.
But it is a goal.
Yep.
Ultimately, that's the goal, is to catch and understand them and to be rewarded. But it's not like that's the only reason why I do it, I do it because I love fishing. I love fishing with my mates. I love seeing my mates catch fish. I'd rather go out in the water and see my mates catch fish and net them and get absolutely blind and have an awesome time and some awesome stories to tell my kids, because I've got some already in the very few years I've lived.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, that's you didn't tell that tangled fucking up story on the bank.
ankle one.
Yeah.
So
you keep like shuffling down the table. I'm gonna keep following you with the mic.
So Shannon and I went out this build up. It's like I hadn't caught like my first barra in the boat yet, and we were fishing around some big snags, and we marked these fish stacked up on the bottom around this stick. We were casting away with vibes and whatever, and kind of, you go off in your own little la-la land and don't really pay any attention. And I just got absolutely slammed by this fish. And we didn't realise how big it was at the time, but I have 40-pound braid on my beast, my Abu beast, and it's like 140 metres, and I couldn't stop it with both thumbs, and it fully locked up. It just peeled me into this tree, this one tree that was sticking out of the water.
The GoPro footage looked like it almost ripped you out, like off the boat.
Yeah, I
like
full
standing on the gunnel.
Couldn't get myself off the gunnel. It was like full like like, I was like, holy shit, Shannon, like I've hooked a stingray, like fuck. And then I pressed the Minn Kota, freaking out. The Minn Kota's starting to drive into the sticks, and we were like screaming, Shann's got a snag, my fish is in a snag, and we're just freaking out. It was just so fun. Anyway, so we go over to the stick and we can see the fish tailing in the sunlight, and we're like, oh, that's big.
Yeah,
and Shann's like, I'm like, just stab it, just get it, just
stab it.
or get it. And Shann's like, she's like, she's one of those people that wouldn't do it because she doesn't want to lose a fish for you. So she's like, no. I'm like, go, get it. And like, as we're doing it, it's going further and further down the stick, and we're dirtying up the water, and you can barely see it, and just see the tail sticking out. We're like, fuck. And this fish is just going down this snag, and it was probably only like maybe a metre under.
Yeah.
If that.
You just couldn't see it.
And so it ended up getting stuck into the point where I couldn't wind it anymore. Broke like the top 2 inches of my tip of my rod off, trying to figure out which way this. It was wrapped. It was wrapped around.
I remember this.
And we were like, fuck. And I was like, fuck it, Shan, hold my ankles. Like, I'm going in. And so I got my tummy on the gunnel, like full, like cheek on the water, reaching down this stick, trying to figure out which way this lead is wrapped around so we could snap it. And this branch was so thick, and I had 80-pound leader on, so this fish wasn't going anywhere. It was hooked good because we were there for a good, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And just for the record, Shannlotte fucking sends it into fish too. She don't fuck around.
And so
It had a headache.
we're like pulling at it, and I'm like, stop, like, and then we're like, I'll hug the branch, and you go and grab it and go backwards. So I've got my feet hooked underneath the gunnel, holding onto this branch, bag hugging it, and Shan's on 10, and I'm like getting my arms ripped out of the socket. I'm like trying to pull the tree. Stop. And it just, this thing is like the most indestructible twig tree you've ever seen.
Oh my God, we could not snap
And
it.
we just couldn't get it off for the life of us. And obviously we're not going to cut it off and leave the fish there just because we want to catch more. You know, we want to get it off and unhook it and whatever. And what ended up happening, it ended up coming up, and Shan just ended up stabbing it and then hooking it, and then the hook ended up getting stuck in the net.
I was going to say, stabbed it with the net.
Dragged it on the outside of the net, Boga gripped it, pulled it over the side, and ended up being a 95, which was fucking awesome.
How was the froth? Because I've seen how excited you get.
Yeah, look, it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a video, but I can't put it on social media because we've got G-bangers hanging out, our pants hanging, like trying to hang over the side of the boat, getting this fish, full sweat running down our heads, burnt. We got burnt on the backs of our backs from hanging over, trying to untangle this fish.
You were there fucking around for that long?
For a little while,
it was like 20 minutes. It was like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
We didn't realise.
And then we had to
trying to get this
catch
fish
the
out.
tide, just skimmed our way through.
Oh, yeah, and then released it, tried to fish, and we stayed too long because we were too keen to catch another, and then we got stuck on a sandbar. We had to get out and push the boat off the sandbar. And we just made it back.
Just skimmed in.
Yeah.
Not the first time he's got stuck either. He's got stuck with Vic that day too.
Yeah, we love
That's a full
sandbars.
6 hours of it.
My renegade loves sandbars.
That was a sesh.
Wasn't it just?
Twice. Once deliberately, once not deliberately.
Yeah. But the deliberate one was good. Got to see some pretty cool.
Well, Vic got a PB Barra land base. That was pretty sick.
What was that one? How big was that?
Oh my God.
I think it was 90, but because the boat was way up a creek, beach, like I run back. I was like, should I get it back? And I was like, no, we got to get it back in the water. So we leaded it, but she was holding it. So I think she was holding it like it's bowed, and I've only gone like that with the lead and grabbed it. Yeah. And it was 88 when we put it on the map, but you know, I was running back holding where it was, but in the photo you can see it's a big fish.
Yeah,
like,
it's a big fish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a good 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, she had a fucking wicked trip. I don't think we could repeat it, but we can try.
The full territory experience.
Yeah,
basically.
fucking first barra was 80. So Vic is Victoria Cameron from Canberra, land-based Murrumbidgee fisherman. Met up with Shannlotte through socials and cast Atmos and lined up a trip, and then first barra she caught was a
82.
Yeah, 82. First ever barra she's even touched. Physically seen. Yeah. And like build up angry little saltwater motherfucker.
I was like, hang on, Vic, because if you catch a fish, she's going to fucking go. She wasn't ready for it. And it just fucking peeled her and was jumping everyone. She's freaking out. I'm like, this is so great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how she goes.
She's like, oh, well, that was like a cod, but just way better.
Cod
like
on
a
steroids.
steroids.
Basically. That was a good trip. We got plenty of fish. There's some really good content coming out in the next few weeks. I had something else to ask Shannon. I can't remember what it was. Don't know. Broadening your horizons, where he is going to, like, are we allowed to talk about that? Can we talk about where he's thinking of? Let's just not go specifics. Like, let's just go like the system.
Subject to rain, really. I mean, we just want to do everywhere. Not like just limit ourselves.
So, like, instead of going, these tides are good for our usual spots. Let's go and explore somewhere else.
Basically.
Like, do you think?
I'm going to go north.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to go this weekend, some like different places, but rain's just, it's just that time of year, it's just shit.
Someone slept in.
Hey.
Someone got on the piece too hard. Not naming names, Wade.
It wasn't my fault. Fucking drunk monkey got me.
Yeah. Hit you with the stick.
Took all my money, kicked me in the fucking head.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, I was podcasting on Saturday night, and we were supposed to, with 3 of my very good mates, and we were supposed to go fishing at like
4:30.
No, it wasn't even that early.
It was like 5.
Yeah, Charles even gave me the grace till 8, and I didn't think we were that drunk. And then I got up out of my chair after sitting down and podcasting for 4.5 hours, and I was fucking drunk.
No board.
Fucking drunk. and then I slept through Shan's video calls.
Yeah.
Because I had my phone on silent. I don't know why.
No.
Yeah, and then now I'm guilted into it. But then I found out they used that shit all the time.
Once. If
Once.
Well, that's my one.
Slipped in and missed the truth.
Yeah. And then we tried to
the year
go.
off with a bang.
And then we tried to do that Arvo, and it was fucking, we got rained out. And then we tried to do it this morning and it got rained out.
Huh.
So I'm off his anyway.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah, you want to go north. So the spot or that area you've been fishing lately, do you think you know enough to consistently get fish all year round, or is it just this time of year?
Yeah.
Like, do you think you've got options throughout? So Darwin's very seasonal, so you get your summer months is like wet season, a lot of rain when it's a good wet season, and then September to November build up. Basically.
I know a lot of places around Darwin, like I know especially for the charters and stuff like that, like blue water fishing shuts down because you get too much fresh in it, and
you got to go really wide.
Kind of like, I don't know, around leaders and, you know, all the local areas like Wilshire's and stuff like that where it doesn't get runoff, it doesn't really fish the same.
Yeah.
I don't know, which is why we want to go chase runoff and that.
Yeah.
But also Westleys and stuff like that just fucks everything up coastal. So, you know, up rivers and whatever else we'll probably fish.
Do you think you're going to say something? What are you going to say?
No.
Weird look.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just having a drink. Calm down.
Do you think you could fish that spot all year round and have the consent? Do you think those quality fishers have been getting us still there all year?
I think it's such a sensitive spot. Not really.
As in pressured?
No, but just like subject to wind and everything. Like
It's
everywhere
open.
coastal and open is so sensitive. Like,
Open
you know,
to
it
all
could be like the
elements.
slightest bit of wind and they're not going to eat,
Yeah,
or
it's
they're not
fucked.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Same with everywhere coastal or anywhere close around here. Like, you know, it's all those little tiny factors that make them there in the first place.
Where do the big fish go on the dry?
You tell me.
Do you reckon they go, I think the same? Oh, that's a secret. I'll cut that out.
I just
Cut
reckon
that.
they do.
Yeah, I'll cut that out. So that was a bit too secret squirrel to record. So with that theory in mind, will you go and chase those fish this dry?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of exploratory missions.
Michon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all for adventure.
It's an adventure every day of our life, I think.
Yeah.
We need a GoPro 24/7.
Yeah.
Definitely need a GoPro 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd have some
Yeah.
fun shit.
Are you self-taught? Like, no, not fishing-wise, but self-taught, like back in the trailer, because, you know, like the whole thing, like girls can't back trailers. A lot of girls can't back trailers, a lot of girls can't drive boats, all that sort of shit. Fucking change tyres. Is that all self-taught?
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, growing up with Dad thinking he wanted two boys, I was always like followed my brother everywhere. So if it wasn't like BMXing or whatever, it was doing things with Dad, and Dad was a mechanic, so it was on cars and doing
Yeah,
things in the
kickstart,
garden. Yeah,
which
so
is good.
it was basically growing up in that lifestyle. Like, he'd make me go to the dump, so then I'd have a trailer on, so I'd be reversing. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's
What you're
just
exposed to.
Yeah, you just get used to it. Like, it's not rocket science.
No.
Once you get it, you'll realise it's so simple.
Yeah, it's
like,
not that hard.
Yeah, and then you'll look at people that can't do it, and you're like, why can't you? You don't understand how they can't.
A lot of people won't have a go either.
No, they're so
A
embarrassed.
lot of women find it really daunting. A lot of men
Yeah.
even find it daunting.
Yeah, I mean, at boat ramps, I still second guess myself, even though I know I could do it with my eyes
There's
shut.
some
But
fucking wankers at boat ramps, but
Yeah.
it's just that whole just doing it.
Yeah.
You just got to get out there and give it a crack.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
opposite. I never got taught.
yeah.
I got taught how to drive a manual, which I'm grateful for because I have my car I have now. But the person who taught me how to back down was Russell, and the way I learned how to do that was we were going fishing together. I think we were at Daly, and I've never backed
Well,
a
that's a
trailer
good ramp.
before.
That's a, like,
Yeah.
the way you reverse is like, and then you get down the top of the ramp, and the daily's like, how long's that ramp? Say,
It's long.
Seems like 100
say
meters.
the last end of
It was
runoff,
like
and it
150.
skews off on like a slight maybe like a 15-degree angle from the direction you start backing down.
Yeah.
And in the, like, there's no fucking, you'd be surprised if, like, you wouldn't be surprised if that ramp was actually just dirt.
Yeah.
Basically, there's no lights, there's none of that shit up here.
It's basically like a real tight drop off.
Yeah, it's like banks above your head either side.
Yeah.
So pretty much he was like, we got to the ramp and he was like, all right. I was like, what? He's like, you're backing it down. I was like, I don't know how. He's like, oh, yeah, got all that. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. So I did it. And
So he's a patient man.
Yeah, it's pretty daunting,
So
but
patient.
like, I mean, after that, you know, like now Russell lets me, like, we'll get in a boat, we'll get in his boat, I'll either have the Minn Kota remote in my hand or he'll pass it to me and we'll just go. Like, it's self-taught. Like, I never was allowed to drive a boat with my ex-partner unless they were pissed. And then I had to. But I wasn't allowed. I always asked, like, can you teach me how to drive the boat on? Can you teach me how to drive the boat? No.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, ever since having my own boat, it's just, you learn by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I think I've gotten pretty good from, you got to hit shit, like, as your, oh my God, it's your first boat. Like, everyone's hit shit. I don't care who you think you are. You've hit shit.
Send it.
You've hit a rock bar, you've hit a sandbar. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah. And if you've hit a sandbar, you've hit a few.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Because you're pretty confident.
You're actually happy when you hit sandbars up here.
Oh, yeah.
Then you know where it is. You mark it and you move on with your life.
When you're not hitting tree stumps and fucking rocks, you're stoked.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good with logs for now, but yeah.
Just rock bars now and sandbars.
Rock bar tick, sandbars tick.
Well,
Yes.
that's an hour's yak. And
Is
wrap
that
it up.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't take long.
Who would have thought you could dribble shit for that long?
We do it all the time.
I know.
Fishing.
Have you got anything else you want to talk about? Or is good? Any more funny stories? Any more epic trips? Or just watch this space?
None that can't give away anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like super sneaky snakes, these mob.
Yeah.
Tell ya.
Like, and I mean,
It's not a bad thing.
nah, but see what happens. I mean, we've both been lucky in our lives.
Well,
Had people that will teach us.
Yeah.
And then we just get off on our own.
It's good to see us getting out and having a crack. And I think the whole cast platform like really backs that as well in women. Like, I don't think, no, it doesn't even specify a gender. It's just if you are out there having a crack, getting after it.
Yeah,
I
anyone.
think- yeah. So women that want to go out and do it but don't have the like too scared or not willing to make the leap, take the steps to go and have a crack by themselves, or
I don't know. I still even get self-conscious, like going out by myself. You know, there's going to be people that are looking, but you just got to think past it and think, oh, fuck, I'm here for the exact same reasons you are.
Says Shannlotte, who just goes on night missions on her own and camps on the boat. Yeah, cool. In croc-infested water.
But I think the best way to think about it is you're not any different to them. Like, you shouldn't. I don't.
it's not one of those sport, like we call it a sport. It's not one of those hobby sports, whatever fishing is to you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of those things where it's like being a guy or a girl makes it different.
No, it
even
doesn't,
probably being a woman
exactly.
is even probably better because historically you guys think so much deeper into stuff. Like, that's legit. Like, those mentally taxing sort of things, especially Barra. Like
Tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Try
Like,
to think into every little thing.
like I don't think, like, there's this whole sexist debate going around now, like,
We could go
Dudes can't.
very much down the rabbit hole with this.
yeah, oh, go down if you want to, we've got fucking all the time as well, but there's certain things that men do that women don't do as good just because of the physical nature of it, because men are naturally stronger or whatever, like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's black and white, but
It's the
I
same
don't
with
think
women,
fishing is
but-
one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some people that think that we look funny. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean,
We do look
Charlotte's like 37 kilos running wet.
We're running with
We're
that now.
reversing a boat down a boat ramp. She drives it off, whatever. It's just like we have a system, and I can guarantee it looks funny. Like,
Yeah,
and
we've
then,
heard people, oh, you see them girls in that boat?
Named Sheila's.
you lot get over here. Basically, it's like bring your whole crew over just to watch us reverse a boat down a boat ramp. But
Yeah.
I mean, so it would look funny, but
Yep.
it's gonna look funny because
I
it
guess-
is a male so-called
Dominated.
dominated industry.
I don't
but-
think it's going to be for too much longer, to be
Nah.
honest. But yeah, so, and I think that's what's daunting to some other females. Like,
I don't know. I think the worst part about it is, I don't know, chicks just don't feel like they can go do it, you know, because either their partner's got the boat, they've got the car, or, you know, you just got to get out and do it yourself. Like, there's not really anything holding you back.
Yep.
Like, go borrow a boat, go borrow a car. Nothing's stopping you. But also, you shouldn't distinguish that, oh, I'm a female. Like, I've never, ever said,
I'm a girl, I
chick
can't do
that
it.
fished, or I'm
Yeah.
a girl that fished. Like, you're fishing with blokes, so just fish.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, I don't personally don't believe in, you know, the nationals and stuff like that, like female angler, like champion
As a-
female
yeah.
angler and stuff.
Yep.
Like, if you're fishing a comp, you're
Yeah.
fishing a guy's comp, that shouldn't be allowed. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You're fishing
just
everyone's level.
It's a fucking comp.
Yeah.
Black and white.
It's not.
It should be, all the same.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever such a thing as because no one says, oh, I'm a male angler, hashtag dudes that fish. Like, you know, no one having a stab at anyone, but like, it shouldn't be a difference. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if you're fishing to fish, then,
Fucking fish.
That's
Yeah.
right.
well, that's
Shut
all I
up
have to
and
say
just
to it. I
fish,
respect everyone that does fish, but, you know, everyone's reasons vary, so. Had a bit of drink, so.
You only had one at Martini.
She's 37 kilos.
Yeah, actually. Your liver's the size of a fucking apple. No, I think that's good. And I think you're a girl and you want to have a crack at fishing, but you haven't got the balls. Fuck. You know what I mean? To go and do it yourself or with your girlfriend or whatever.
If you're anyone and you want to go fishing, just go fishing.
Good.
Basically. If you don't know what you're doing, message someone, ask for advice. Don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
We'll
And these
start
two girls will
somewhere.
both talk to you too,
That's
and they're
right.
both way more than capable of telling you anything you want to know. How do people get at you? Instagram?
There's a message button. Just message.
Yeah.
Like, we never.
So your Insta handle's what? At Shannlotte Klose?
Yeah.
Klose.
Just the name. Yep. With a K.
With a K.
Not a C.
And yours is just Shannen Jeffery too.
It's me.
Pretty simple.
Pretty basic, yeah.
Shannon being SHANNEN.
Yeah, wow.
I'm onto it, eh?
You
Fuck,
are
I'll do my research.
onto it.
I'll do my research. Yeah, so get out these girls. At Victoria Clare is another one. So that's Vic Cameron from Canberra. She's another one who'll give you heaps of good oil. She goes fishing by herself, land-based, full of fucking like
Snakes
joints with
and
like
shit and
danger
that.
noodles everywhere.
Yeah. That's them.
Yeah. So yeah, she does her own thing too, and has got her own goals and is getting after it by herself. So yeah, if you're a girl and you're in fishing, probably don't even girls listen to this fucking podcast either.